Hi lovely, and in this video I want to share with you my 10 main insights from this year that made my life actually to the point where I am right now. And I truly believe that if you will apply into practice at least some of them, your 2026 will be definitely your best year of your life. I recorded this introduction word already at the end, just because I got completely different energy. I'm really proud of how this video turned out and how many valuable information I actually told you, even though I haven't written that down in my script. So please watch it till the end and let's get back to the start. First insight with this main quote: when you pray for flowers, don't be surprised when it starts raining. This is probably the quote which pretty much describes my whole 2025. And this is my main insight of this year. Because everything what I've been through felt like a personal growth bootcamp to make me the person I asked to be in the beginning of 2026. Back in January, I was in Paris for a fashion week. And that fashion week opened for me a whole new branch of probability because I understood what else is possible. And I saw all these influencers, I saw all these VIP guests at fashion shows who are invited by press offices of these big luxury houses, who arrive with black Mercedeses to the shows, to the red carpets, greeted by all the photographers around them. And I was standing next to it and I was like, I love it. I wish to be there too. And you know what? Back then, I didn't have yet that strong inner core as I do have right now. I was aware a little bit about the power I have inside of me, about the potential I have inside of me, but I didn't have that strong self-esteem to really allow myself that lifestyle, to really have that visibility and that scope of influence. And you know what happened? 2 months later, I arrived to Paris Fashion Week for women's season. That was already in March. And back then, I already slightly touched that lifestyle because I was working for a magazine and I was invited for some shows. I was greeted by photographers. I was invited by PR agents to the shows. I was standing in front of Dior show in this queue next to all these people. Next to Leonie, Hani, next to big influencers, big actors, and I saw already that life even closer. It touched with my hand it even more. And I remember that day as it was yesterday. So on the 7th of March, I was invited for a fashion show by Simiaki that was back in Louvre. I was invited as a guest there. I was greeted by his PR agent. And after the show, I went for lunch with my clients. After that, I was introduced to Kendall Jenner, and in general, it all felt like this perfect branch of probability coming to life in the way how I imagine it. Like everything is just building up for me, but deep innerly, I had a feeling like I don't fully deserve this life, if you know what I mean. It's like you see it all, but you can't believe that it all is real. You just don't fully feel yourself in that branch of probability. And one day after, my mom got into an accident in Dominican Republic. So I had no time to think, and I had to fly from Paris to Dominican Republic with a little black bag, with no belongings, no clothes, anything. What I've been through in the Dominican Republic created for me that inner core, which I actually needed for this new branch of probability. That experience made me really strong. That was literally survival mode. And I was fully responsible for more than just my own life. I had to take full care of my mom, who didn't have any memory, anything, who couldn't even walk because her spine was broken. And her life was basically in my hands. And we were not in a private hospital in Dominican Republic. So that was quite an experience because we were the only 2 white women in that hospital, and I had to be harsh with doctors to really push them to take care of my mom. I had to check all the medicine that they were giving to my mom. I had to find drivers. I had to organize a lot of stuff. And after that, thanks God, I didn't get any gray hair, but I got really strong core. And through that experience, I was introduced to a real power that's inside of me. And Dominican Republic itself opened me from completely new perspective. It opened more my feminine side, but more this like powerful feminine side. And looking back, I'm really grateful for that experience, no matter how hard it was back then. And even though my mom is still recovering, but thanks God, in the end, it all turned out in the best possible way. Or maybe this is just my own feature and I try to find positive consequences in everything that happens. And this is a second insight, because you're not given the challenges that you're not able to overcome. And everything that comes to your life is basically the blessing from the divine power, because no matter how hard it feels in this very moment, for something you need this experience. You will understand later probably for what, but in this very moment try to develop the trust to the world that everything works for the best for you. Third one, your inner state creates a reality in front of you. You might agree with it or not, but try to analyze everything what happens in your life, how right now life looks around you, and you will understand that this is a result of your previous choices or the result of your thoughts you were spinning in your mind. And there are two different types of mindsets. First, have, do, and be. Basically, you say to yourself, once you're gonna have this, then I'm gonna do that, and in the end I will feel blessed or I will feel happy. So basically you're postponing your life all the time to the future. But there is also a second type of the mindset, and it's called be, do, and have. First, you create this feeling inside of you that you have already it all what you dream about. From that state of mind, you already take the decisions, take the actions. And I will tell you from my own experience that those actions are more efficient. And in the end, you have it in real life, because you gave the clear direction to your RAS system. This is a little bit of neuroscience here, but this is basically the center in your brain which is responsible for pointing the focus of your attention and attracting those events which will lead towards your vision. I won't go too deep into it because that's a huge topic, and I was telling about that mostly on my mastermind when we were reprogramming the reality. But what I want to say is that take control over your thoughts. Everything what you spin on your mind has a huge power. I am even careful with the songs I listen to, just because I clearly saw how all those repetitive scripts which I was listening to from Adele, for example, when I wanted to have some drama in my life, I had the drama in reality with copy-paste as the lyrics. So right now I'm really careful with what I listen to, and I recommend you too to be a little bit more conscious about what your mind observes. And it's not only about the music, it can be also from the series, from the stories you hear from your friends. And in general, I'm very careful about the info environment around me. I don't read news, and with books I'm also careful. Basically everything what your mind observes, it's like a sponge. So think about that. My fourth main insight is patience is a key. Don't chase fast results, because we are all human beings. We need dopamine in this very moment. When we do an action, we need to get the results, and our primal brain is like, babe, I wasted my energy, where is my satisfaction? But chasing fast dopamine won't lead you anywhere. And this year really taught me to build the systems and don't see the result in this very moment. For example, I was working 2 months on my AI course. I did not see any result. I was blaming myself all the time that I'm just doing shit, and that I'm wasting my time, that it won't make sense at all why I'm doing that. But looking back, I see how many skills I've actually gained during the journey. Once I was filming lectures, once I was recording lectures, that was such a step out of my comfort zone, and it brought me such a skill set that right now I am like a soldier. I can record YouTube videos and talk easily to the camera without having a prepared script, even though English is not my mother tongue. And basically through my educational products, I'm building right now my community of people, my students as my family, whom we can gather further for masterminds. And I love to see how my knowledges or what I share with people help them along their their way, how that helped them to grow. And I don't know, it brings me much more joy than just working on my own commercial projects. For me, it felt so empty, but this energy with other people, being a part of something much bigger, being a part of someone else's journey, for me, this is probably my biggest dopamine or bliss and happiness. So instead of chasing fast results, try to build a system that will work for you further, and divide your huge, big vision into small, clear steps, and try to create for yourself your own dopamine system of awards for each step you've done, and try to work with your neuromediators. It's basically a hormonal cocktail which you have in your body. This will help you along the way, because as I said already, our primal brain doesn't really like to put effort and just likes easy, fast results. That's why sometimes you can choose to scroll socials over reading a book or something which will move you forward, just because your brain needs dopamine in this very moment, and it will rather choose to go to the club, to meet friends, to have fun, than to actually do something that will work for you further and what will make your life better in a long term, because everything starts basically from your little daily choices. Fifth one is routine. This is very important for the safety of your brain. For example, I'm traveling a lot, but I know that no matter where am I in the world, I will wake up in the morning, I will do my yoga for 10 minutes, I will do my meditation, I will do my journaling, and no matter what chaos I have around me, I'm gonna have plus minus same routine, which gonna bring me this feeling of safety at least for 1 hour. And also the habit that changed my life was once I stopped taking my phone in the morning once I wake up. Because again, primal brain wants to check the notifications, wants to check messages, but in that it brought me a lot of anxiety as it turned out, and you don't feel yourself as well as you feel without the phone, because once you only wake up, you are like a newborn. And right now I try to look first at the light, even if there is no sun, I just look at the sky. I try to calm down my system, let the cortisol go. I do some basic routine, and then already after 1 hour I touch my phone and I already answer everyone and so on. Insight number 6 also comes to this whole cohort, is journaling. Every morning once I wake up, I do the journal basically of what I feel right now. I write down gratitudes, I write down the basic programming for the day or for the future, what I want. I try to reconnect with myself, with my vision, and again, coming back to the second point, I act from the point B when I have it all. Basically through journaling, I reconnect with my higher self, that version of Tatiana in 3 years of time who has it all. And from that point on, I take decisions and I plan out my day, what I want to do today that will lead me towards that vision. Now, number 7, my most favorite one, because it's pretty much clear, describes the point where I am right now, is don't be afraid to jump into unknown. And once you take that step, the whole way builds up for you and you find yourself on a new branch of probability where the biggest growth starts. I remember when I took a decision to leave Berlin because I felt that something doesn't work out for me. I outgrown already the life which I have. It doesn't spark me anymore. I don't see any growth. I have a feeling like I got stuck into my comfort zone, and it doesn't really correlate with that big vision which I have in front of me. And once I took a decision to leave Berlin, that was really hard for me because I had everything there. I had my perfect life, which looked more like a Pinterest picture. Everyone was really surprised by that because, come on, babe, where are you going? You have everything you've ever dreamed of. But somehow I had this feeling inside of me that I have to move on. I have to go somewhere else. I have to change. And I faced so much resistance. Like 2 weeks before leaving, I started to meet new people, new friends. I got film projects. I got some issues with documents. So even legally, I couldn't leave the country. Like from everywhere I had this feeling like everything is just screaming to me, Tatiana, don't go. But deep inside of me, I had this feeling that no, I still somehow feel this urge that I have to move. Otherwise, I'm gonna get stuck in this comfort zone and nothing will change. I won't feel happy here. Anyway, once I was leaving Germany, I was crying as fuck. I was leaving my dream apartment. I was leaving all my friends. I was leaving all people I knew, because in Berlin, no matter where I go, I meet someone I know. I lived in such a bubble of this, I don't know, perfect capital life. So I was crying a lot in the airport, I was crying a lot on the plane. But once I landed in Dubai, for me it felt like I just stepped onto a new branch of probability. And that was a crazy feeling. I remember I was sitting on the 30th floor overlooking Dubai. That was actually my first time in the big city. I never saw all this, how is it called, skykeepers and so on. And I was sitting on the 30th floor overlooking the city. And I so clearly saw this new level in my life, what else is possible, how I actually get to that life which I sensed in January when I was in Paris for a fashion week. So that was crazy feeling. And then after Dubai, I arrived to Bali, and here I became a crazy workaholic. It's like I always felt this energy at 250 here. Somehow it's like I always have this drive and urge to do something here, even though usually people when they arrive to Bali, they have opposite effect. They are more into the spiritual energies and so on. For me, somehow it was other way around. It feels like in Berlin was Balinese version of me, and to Bali arrived my Berlin version, because I faced here my shadow side as well, who want this visibility, who misses the stage, because as a kid I grew up on a stage. I was always in the spotlight of attention, and I really loved that. Also looking back, when I was acting in the Netflix series, when I was acting in the Hunger Games movie with Francis Lawrenson, once I was standing to Hunter Schafer, to Peter Dinklage, to Rachel Zegler, I had this feeling like I also want to be here. Why I do have this small part? I also wish to be in the spotlight. Like looking back, I always loved to be a part of someone else's big way. I was working with famous artists, with musicians. I was trying to help other people to get this visibility, which I actually wanted deep inside of me, and basically through other people, I was implementing my potential. But in the end, I wasn't just accepting this side of me, that I really want it as well. And this is my eighth insight, that your biggest power, your biggest potential is in your shadow side, which you deny, which you're so afraid of, which you try to suppress, you try to make it comfortable for other people, and you don't want to show this power which you have inside of yourself, because you're afraid that other people will just turn around and leave. And everyone has different shadow sides. I really recommend you to look into it, because that's where your biggest money, biggest potential, visibility, everything what you dream about is hidden. The next insight, number 9, is that you have already all the answers to all your questions. And you don't need more knowledges, you don't need mentors, you don't need people who will highlight for you the way, because you know what is best for you, even if you don't feel like that right now, and you are just asking for advices, you're trying to look at someone else's paths and try to apply those methods onto yourself. But in the end, you have to reconnect first with yourself, with your gut feeling, and this you can do through meditation, through self-reflection, through journaling again. I actually recently did my Telegram channel, where I just upload some questions for self-reflection or some of my insights, so you can find the link underneath this video. And there you can find actually questions for self-reflection, to reconnect with your gut feeling, if you're on the right path right now, what still works for you, what doesn't work, what you want to change. So I really recommend it for you. It will take about 1 or 2 hours, but it will give you a clarity on the point where you're right now and where you want to get, what drives you, what gives you energy, where you see the trend right now. So I really hope it will help you. And out of it comes the final insight number 10. You need to take the full responsibility for your life. Sounds easy, right? But in fact, it's not like that. Because again, our primal mind tries to find the easiest ways, and we are looking for those people who will tell us how is it better, what way you should take, what decision you should take. But remember the thing that Empress listens to the advisors, but always takes the decisions on her own. Because again, you know how it's best for you. Take responsibility to build for yourself the life you dream about. Take responsibility over your income, that only you actually are responsible for how much money you make, for the life you have. Only you are responsible for all the best and worst things that you have right now in your life, because only from this point you actually can change something. You stop being the victim of circumstances and become a creator of your life and everything that surrounds you. So I think that was quite a long video, but I really hope that my insights and my own reflection somehow helped you and will make 2026 the best year of your life. I share with you a hug from Bali and a little bit warmth to you, and Happy New Year!